Good evening and welcome to the January 2026 meeting of the Omaha Public Power District Board of Directors. Thank you all for joining us in person at the Omaha Douglas Civic Center and remotely via WebEx. I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. With me in person today are my fellow board members, Amanda Bogner, Mike Kavanaugh, Sarah Howard, John Hudson, Craig Moody, Mary Spurgeon, and Eric Williams. We also have CO Javier Fernandez, Steve Bruckner, our general counsel with the Fraser Stryker Law Firm, and members of our board meeting support staff. OPPD's executive leadership team and subject matter experts also are participating in today's meeting in person and via WebEx. Additionally, we currently have about 20 members of the public at the Civic Center and 20 attendees on WebEx, consisting of OPPD employees and members of the public. Thank you for joining us this evening. I will now ask a member of OPPD's physical security team to provide the safety briefing for our location.
Welcome to today's meeting. At OPPD, we are committed to fostering a safe and secure, respectful environment for all participants. To support this commitment, we begin each meeting with a few important reminders regarding our physical, psychological, and digital safety. If anybody's experiencing any illnesses, please prioritize your well-being, stay home, rest, stay hydrated, and attend any necessary medical appointments. Wherever you're joining from, whether it's an OPPD facility or even home, please be aware of any emergency exits, first aid supplies, AEDs, and fire suppression materials. We have those items on either side of us in the emergency stairwells. We also have extra first aid and AED equipment in the back. Monitor your surroundings for potential hazards, prepare for changing weather conditions, and remain alert to prevent slips, trips, and falls. If anybody needs any assistance at any point, please go ahead and let someone know in the room from OPPD or the representatives from the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. We'll get you help as quickly as possible. Living in a digital world requires us all to remain ever vigilant against cyber threats. Exercise caution and with suspicious emails and unknown links. Avoid clicking on content that seems untrustworthy. At OPPD, we believe that psychological safety is essential to productive and inclusive collaboration. We ask all participants to uphold the following principles: speak and interact with respect, embrace constructive conflict, value diverse perspectives, build trust through transparency, and foster a culture of curiosity and continuous learning. Here at OPPD, we always want to remember our core values. We have a passion to serve, we honor our community, and we care about one another. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now let's run through our guidelines for the conduct of the meeting. This regular board meeting will follow the agenda made available to the public on OPPD.com. This meeting is being conducted in person with WebEx conferencing and is being recorded. Our board meetings have public comment periods on the agenda. Comments made by all parties during the meeting are part of the official public record. After the introduction of action items, board members will ask clarifying questions of staff, then I'll ask for public comment. After public comment, the board will conduct its discussion of the matter and then vote. Before we adjourn, there will be an opportunity to comment on any other matters of district business. We'll take comments in the room first, then via WebEx. For in-person attendees, if you wish to make a comment, please line up behind the microphone. Please state your name, address, and the name of any organization or person you represent. Each individual will be allotted 3 minutes per matter pending. To assist you, we'll use the timer that's in the room. Ms. Lane will signal you when 30 seconds remain, as well as when time is up. If you have written materials, please deliver them to Ms. Lane. For WebEx attendees, if you wish to make a comment, please send the meeting host a message using the chat feature or utilize the hand raise feature. Detailed instructions can be found on the OPPD website at the link shown on the screen. When I call on a member of the public to speak, please affirm that we can hear you before commencing with your comments. Please state your name, address, and the name of any organization or person you represent. Each individual will be allotted 3 minutes per matter pending. To assist you, we'll use the timer on the screen and signal you when 30 seconds remain, as well as when time is up. If you have written materials, please email them to corporatesecretary@oppd.com and they'll be received on our behalf. For all attendees, please direct your comments to me. I'll either respond to you directly or defer response to another board member or officer of the district. The board values and welcomes civil, respectful, clear, and concise communication from the public. During public comments, speakers should refrain from repetitious, profane, or irrelevant comments. Speakers shall refrain from pulling the board, as such vote is not on the agenda and prohibited by law. Ms. Lane, will you please take the roll?
Bogner,
Here.
Kavanaugh,
Here.
Core,
Here.
Howard,
Here.
Hudson,
Here.
Moody,
Here.
Spurgeon,
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Notice of the time and place of this meeting was publicized by notifying the area news media, by publicizing in the Omaha World Herald and Nebraska Press Association, OPPD outlets newsletter, OPPD.com, and social media, by displaying such notice on the first level of OPPD administrative offices, and by emailing such notice to each of the district's directors on January 9, 2026. A copy of the proposed agenda for this meeting has been maintained on a current basis and is readily available for public inspection in the office of the district's corporate secretary. Additionally, a copy of the Open Meetings Act is available for inspection on OPPD.com and in this meeting room. The consent agenda action items are: Item 6, approval of the November 2025 financial report, December 2025 meeting minutes, and January 15, 2026 agenda. Item 7, standing committee annual reports for 2025, resolution number 6745. Item 8, election of board officers, resolution number 6746. Item 9, board standing committee assignments, resolution number 6747.
Thank you. If there are no corrections, changes, or additions to the consent agenda items, I need a motion and a second to approve the items.
Motion to approve.
Second. All right, thank you. We discussed these action items at the all committees meeting on Tuesday, December 16th. Pardon me. We discussed these action items on January 13th. Do any members of the public in the room have comments on these consent agenda items? If you would like to make a comment, please come to the podium. Okay, seeing none, do any members of the public on WebEx have a comment? Please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand. Okay, Ms. Lane, will you take the roll?
Wagner,
Yes.
Kavanaugh,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Moody,
Yes.
Spurgeon,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Great, thank you. And with that, I'll turn it to CEO Fernandez for the president's report.
Thank you, Chair Core. I'm going to start as usual with a report on our generation fleet, starting with our baseload generation. These statistics are for the month of December of 2025. As you can see here, Nebraska City Unit 1 capacity factor of 46%, Unit 2 72%, North Omaha Unit 42%, and North Omaha 5 Unit with a 53% capacity factor. We took a proactive maintenance outage on Nebraska City Unit 1 to repair a boiler feed pump. And so that was part of what explains that lower capacity factor. December was unusually warm as well. And so that was another one of the reasons why we were observed lower capacity factors. We had quite a bit of wind penetration that we took advantage of and show that. We did have on North Omaha 4 unit, we had a couple of forced outages for boiler tube leak repairs. And North Omaha 5 had some small derates, but really nothing of note. On our balancing generation fleet, you can see the numbers here in front of you. We didn't use gas that much in December. The teams executed and completed the final planned outages in December for peaking generation fleet with Sarpy County 1. That was forced. We had a forced outage. The return of that unit is going into this year, so that unit was basically out for the month of December. But the rest of the units were available. I will like to note that even though North Omaha units 1, 2, and 3 were available mechanically, they were not available in that month because of fuel unavailability. On a renewable generation, capacity factor for renewables on average was 36.2%. Really what carried that was wind factor of 35.7%. Capacity factor for solar, both community solar and Platteview solar, was lower, and that is expected with winter days with lower irradiance, but we're expecting that to start increasing as days get longer and temperatures rise. Certainly, wind factor was what continue to carry these high capacity factor as expected and very welcomed into our fleet. Next, please. Now, due to the timing of activities since the last board meeting, which wasn't even a month ago, we wanted to take this opportunity to share an update as it relates to the board resolution 6744 that was approved last month. Director Williams referenced these in our all committee meeting 2 days ago. but I'm sharing this again. Late last month, OPPD received all the Southwest Power Pool generation interconnection agreements from FERC as outlined in Board Resolution 6518. In alignment with Board Resolution 6744 regarding North Omaha Station operations, management will initiate an SPP transmission tariff study within 30 days of receiving all required and approved SPP interconnection agreements. That 30-day clock is next week, so we're ready. We're almost final with all of that, so we will send that that application to SPP. This study will inform the transmission investments required to enable the retirement and refueling of North Omaha Station. As a reminder, the Southwest Power Pool has up to a year to finish the study, and management will provide updates as the process progresses. And we will use this venue in the president's report, and we will also make give updates at the all committees meetings as appropriate. Next slide, please. The March Setki month of giving and holiday giving. This is back to November, so I'm reporting a November item here, but I was not ready to report this in December because we were still tallying all the results from all the different activities. The March Setki month of giving honors one of our most fearless and transformational leaders, my good friend and colleague Mark Setki, who passed away after a courageous battle with cancer. Throughout the year, employees give back in many ways through fundraising efforts and even vacation donation. During November, we close with the March Setki month of giving. OPPD employees and retirees rounded the year, raising a total of $237,668 for the United Way of the Midlands, for OPPD's Energy Assistance Program, and for the Greener Together program, along with other charities. That is fantastic, and it's something that doesn't happen naturally. It's a lot of effort and a lot of attention to make sure that we are spreading the word, and I'm always inspired by OPPD employees really stepping up to the call. On the right side of the screen, you can see, in addition, OPPD employees from across the district provided food, toys for the Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program, and gifts and other assistance to those in need during the holiday season. This is something that our service centers, our generation plants, it has become a tradition, and it's just heartwarming to see that those efforts take place in December. Next slide, please. During the holidays as well, OPPD employees from across the district worked together to provide food, gifts, and other assistance to those in need during this year's holiday season. You can see there some of the numbers of volunteer hours we had, rounding not just in December, but for the entirety of 2025. Employees gave their time and energy to local nonprofits that included the Food Bank for the Heartland Hope Mission, Open Door Mission, and Together. This is important. We support employees to participate in these type of activities. We have policies that allow employees to use some of their time at OPPD to go in and give back to the community, and certainly many of our employees take advantage of that. Next slide, please. Registration is now open for the 19th annual Heat the Streets Run and Walk for Warmth. OPPD and the Metropolitan Utilities District, we team up to raise money for energy assistance programs through this event. This is OPPD's biggest energy assistance program fundraiser of the year, and it will be held on Saturday, March 7th at Exarban Village in Omaha. Currently, 1 in 5 households, or 23% of residential customers across OPPD service territory, are income eligible for the energy assistance program. So this is very important. It is a very important program for us. OPPD Board Secretary Amanda Bogner and her husband Jason, along with MUD Senior Vice President and General Counsel Mark Mendelhut and his wife Bridget, are co-chairs for this event. Thank you for doing that. You can register, you can see that at heatthestreetsomaha.org. There's an early bird discount ending in January 31st. If you want to donate more than what the price is in there, we will be very happy to accept that. So it's for a good cause. And this month, I'm going to end my president's report similar to what I did last year. It's just a good way for us to look at what we did in 2025. This is a video that we just shared with our employees last week, and I will take an opportunity here to just show that, and just as a reminder of all the work that we completed in 2025. That's good. And that concludes my president's report.
All right, thank you. Now's the time for public comment. Are there any members of the public in the room that have comment? Please come to the podium. State your name, address, and any organization you represent.
David Begley, 4611 South 96th Street. One of my best sources on solar energy said today, or wrote an article that said, for investors, a payback for commercial grade, utility grade solar project in California is 3 years, in North Dakota it's 7 years. That is an amazingly profitable deal. And you're all part of that, but this is a chart that shows the entire U.S. generating capacity. And what's going on is the firm generation is going down and the intermittent generation is going up. And National Electricity Reliability Council warns that SPP can experience energy shortage when output from wind resources is low. And so that just points out the foolishness of the all of the above approach, adding wind and solar to the grid of OPPD. What I really want to talk about tonight is Steve Bruckner and the Fraser Stryker Law Firm. One of the most important qualities in a lawyer is good judgment. And I think it needs to be said publicly what Steve did for OPPD for people who may not know or appreciate what happened. So the Attorney General filed a lawsuit in October, and I checked the docket and nothing had been filed. There hadn't been an answer or anything, or a motion to dismiss. And what I think happened was Steve realized that the AG's lawsuit was mostly a political lawsuit, and he could get to a political solution without running the meter on OPPD. And I can tell you, there are a lot of lawyers in this town would have started running the meter on you right away, because the AG, I have some friends who are in litigation with his office right now, and they can throw 4 or 5 lawyers on something right away. So the important point here is that Steve Bruckner put the interest of OPPD, the client, over that of Fraser Stryker. And I think that needs to be recognized, and you should appreciate what he did for you. And the ratepayer. So Steve and I were both class of 79 at Creighton University, and the late Father John Schlegel was our mentor. And he taught us to think critically. And Steve, picked up, this was not a litigation solution with the Attorney General, it was a political solution. One thing I learned from Father Schlegel was to pay attention to the rest of the world. And we see net zero has totally failed. So Steve is not going to work forever. He's hired Amelia Prickett and has Tim Talkin. I know Tim by reputation. It is stellar. And I suggest, or I'm sure that Steve is mentoring Amelia. So going forward, you should have high confidence in Amelia and Tim. With that, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else in the room that'd like to make a comment? All right, seeing no others, do any members of the public joined via WebEx have comments on other items of district business? Please send a chat to the meeting host or use the hand raise feature in WebEx. Telephone users can press *3 to raise their hand.
Ken Winston.
Mr. Winston, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Thank you. Ken Winston for Nebraska Sierra Club and the more than 5,000 members and supporters in OPPD service territory. 4 items that I will present tonight. First, continuing to burn coal at North Omaha Station does not improve reliability. It is likely to be more costly for your customer owners. The fact that 1 unit of North Omaha was offline this week is an example of that. Second, we support OPPD board and staff in carrying out the resolution adopted at the December meeting. We support the people of North Omaha in working collaboratively with OPPD and expect that there will be, and I quote from the resolution, respectful engagement with that community, and meaningful investment in infrastructure, programs, and resources that reflect community priorities and cultivate the growth and well-being of vibrant and thriving communities, end quote. We also note the resolution calls for, and I quote, strategic investment in clean energy, demand-side programs, and community partnerships, end quote, as well as an examination of, and I quote, distributed capacity procurement plan to modernize and strengthen the local electrical grid. We also support the retirement or refueling of units 4 and 5 as soon as possible, as implied by the resolution. Number 3, we would like to see health issues addressed. It was not addressed in the resolution, and would point out once again that the Douglas County Health Department found that the people in North Omaha have higher levels of asthma, other respiratory illnesses, and heart disease than the community at large. We encourage OPPD to work with the Douglas County Health Department in response to the letter from Health Department Director Hughes. 4th, legislation. There's lots of issues to be addressed, and they're only in the 7th day as of today, but there's 2 bills in particular I would like to talk about. LB 1026, which would make it much more difficult to retire fossil fuel plants. This would override the judgment of your professional staff and the will of your board who make these decisions at the local level. The second one is LB 1027, which would make it much more difficult to develop renewable energy by creating bureaucratic barriers. We encourage OPPD to take a position opposing both these bills because they are critical to
30 seconds.
protecting OPPD's authority as a public power entity and achieving the goals which the board has set. In addition, we hope that OPPD will support legislation reining in data centers and legislation that helps with the development of renewable energy. And finally, we look forward to working with OPPD board and staff on the integrated systems plan discussed at the committee meeting on Tuesday. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other comments online?
David Corbin.
Go ahead, sir, if you can hear me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, David Corbin, 1002 North 49th Street, representing the Missouri Valley Group Sierra Club. I just want to reiterate what I said on Tuesday about looking at the health aspects, particularly in North Omaha. And as Mr. Winston said, going with the recommendations from the Douglas County Health Department in partnership, as your resolution talks about, the one that you passed. And I just want to mention that I would like to recognize the passing of Sandy Dodge, who was a former OPPD board member, and I was privileged to be able to attend meetings and talk to him on occasion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your comments.
Quickly, we thank you for the mentioning of Mr. Dodge. We're planning to have a recognition next month.
Thank you for that.
John Pollock.
Mr. Pollock, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
John Pollock, 1412 North 35th Street, Omaha. I also support the recommendation to the Douglas County Health Department Director. As far as the weather goes, we are looking at the coldest weather of the winter coming up. What we're setting up is a familiar pattern from the last several winters, where late in the winter we get a large piece of the polar vortex that gets parked up in Canada and dumps cold air down into the north central and northeast U.S. There are a couple of significant differences to the pattern this time, at least in the next 10 days or so. Instead of being a Siberian or a Yukon Express, what we really have this time is a Nunavut Express. That's the large Arctic province in northeast Canada. So what's happening is that the cold air is centered further east. It's coming down the west side of Hudson Bay and then dumping into the interior U.S. What that means is that the SPP in general and our area in particular is going to be seeing these periodic cold dumps, but each one is going to have a lot of wind with it. There's going to be lots of wind power. The center of the coldest air will be further east rather than directly over the SPP region. And another significant factor is that we are out of the storm track. Although we could see some very light snow tomorrow, there are no significant snowstorms for the next 10 days. Now, we have bare ground all the way up to northern South Dakota. So that makes a significant difference. It does modify the air, even though it's going to be cold and windy. It's not going to be as cold as it would have been otherwise. We're not looking at another Uri event, at least in the next 10 days or so. The pattern will get cold air this weekend. We'll get a little bit of a break, probably some more next weekend. After that, it is too soon to tell. Several of the weather models have a moderation and a change in pattern after
30
that.
seconds.
However, there's one or two that suggest we could still be getting some very cold air coming out of Canada at that point, and it's really too soon to foresee what will happen that far out toward the end of January and early February. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other comments online? Without any other comments, the meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.